Yeah, what is going on, guys? Just wanted to come and film my trade recap for today. So today's trade was taken in Asia session around 4 o'clock. This is when I got on because I like to trade when volatility and things like that kind of die down, especially after market open. And market opened Asia session around 1, so 2 hours just after market opened, we managed to find ourselves a trade. No news on Monday whatsoever, like nothing at all, no yellow, no nothing. So volatility is kind of low. So it's easy for price to actually manipulate one way. Um, and yeah, so the 4 hour time frame, start up with the high time frame. 4 hour time frame, as you guys can see that we're just making some huge moves down, right? Small correction down, and so and same thing on the 1 hour. We didn't really have anything on the 1 hour. The only thing we had as a bias was the fact that we displaced from this 1 hour gap lower, and we kind of looked to do the same here, where we had that manipulation up, try to get that continuation, but unfortunately we did get stopped out of break even. And then price actually found its way continuing back down again, all the way down to these hourly lows, breaking this hourly structure as well as these daily lows down here. Um, which brings me then to the 50 minute. What do I see on the 50 minute? I see that, okay, we're making some moves down. We did put in a low, right? Ideally, we filled in this 50 minute. We should be continuing down lower to then break structure. But price ended up doing another pullback around this area here, which is like, okay, cool. Gives us a chance to actually take a trade on that small pullback. So the trade that we actually took tried to it was it was a kind of playing off a small pullback and then continuation. But what price ended up doing was that we got that displacement lower, right? We got that displacement lower. Oh, sorry. We got that displacement lower, but wasn't actually enough to actually take out these lows. We didn't come all the way up, take out these highs, and also, take out these 5 minute highs, filled in 50 minute equilibrium between these highs and this low, and we continue to sell off. But um, yeah, we weren't able to actually get a re-entry just because. Damn, how do I get rid of this? Just because we actually didn't sweep out previous highs that was put in. We kind of just sold off without sweeping anything. So to me, it's not really a good indication because it just means that we are leaving behind this high here. And ideally, we want that to get taken out before that continued sell off. Which then brings me into the 5 minute. Okay, 5 minute here. I was pretty much waiting for a sweep to happen, which we were within. We were in. Let me get rid of this stuff. We were in within this 5 minute gap here, right? So, we started to get some moves down, move down, move down. We created a 5 minute gap. I'm like, okay, cool. We can actually look to go short, just because the 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour is all bearish. Um, we did have these 5 minute highs as well as these 5 minute highs as well as these 5 minute highs, and this was the 15 minute gap here. But again, we did see the trade off this 5 minute gap with the reactions that we had. So, which then brings me down to the 1 minute. So the 1 minute, this is the 5 minute gap. Okay, the 1 minute, I'm seeing that we tap into this 5 minute gap. We get a liquidity sweep of these highs. We get that market structure shift. So we break these lows and we close below, right? We close below. And I'm just like, okay, cool. We get that liquidity. Ideally, this high is protected, right? This high should be protected. So, um, break even was actually break even originally was at these lows here. Um, which we weren't able to take a trade, just because no fair value gaps was created after taking out these lows, and we took out these lows very, very quickly. So I wanted to see if it was a reversal or continuation, I want to see that based on this 1 minute fair value gap here. So again, we get that liquidity sweep, right, which is here. We get that market structure shift. We get that retracement, unable to break these highs, right? We get that displacement back down, taking out these lows, right? We take those lows out, and if we're, you know, we shouldn't be, um, we shouldn't be actually, if we were reversing, ideally we should take out these lows and then come back up again. But what we ended up seeing was we take out these lows, we get a retracement in here, we get a nice closeout candle, and continue to sell off here. So at this point, I was break even when this candle closed. Stops were above this 1 minute fair value gap because ideally that's what we took the trade off. The trade would be invalidated if we invalidated this and 1 minute fair value gap because it just means that we've actually used it to take out previous lows, and price can reverse again, making this gap useless, making this trade invalid. So that's why we put the stop just above the fair value gap, just in case price wants to actually come out and play around in this gap again. But we did fill it, and we did get that reaction out of it. So yeah, once we got the displacement all the way through, take profit would have been at these lows down here, just because it was the closest target. This was the 50-minute low that was put in. As I mentioned before, that 50-minute low that was put in, ideally we're actually targeting that 50-minute low, and hourly lows as well. Just because I did think that reversal plays could happen just because of how far down we're dumping, and we haven't had enough of a correction move to fill in those areas. Like if you see on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, as you guys can see, we're just leaving gap after gaps after gaps. Same thing kind of on the 1 hour here, gaps after gaps. So, reversal play could happen, which I was willing to actually take another trade if we manipulated back up into the 15-minute, get a liquidity sweep here, and then a market structure shift, retracement, and then a break off, which is what I mentioned before. But again, we were unable to get that, and we didn't sweep any highs over here, which again, don't want to leave these highs behind, especially when we sell off like this. Ideally, we want to see these highs get swept, we get a market structure shift, and then a retracement into a fair value gap and a displacement break away from it, which is exactly what we had on this trade here. Just unfortunate that we were on the discounted range to actually go short. Ideally, we want to be in a premium range to go short. But again, we saw the idea play out in terms of what we wanted to look for. So we had our 5-minute gap here. We had our manipulation of this high, which was the first high being put in after tapping this 5-minute here. We get a liquidity sweep. We get that market structure shift, right? Unable to break these highs. We displace all the way back down again. We look for this fair value gap here, and looking for a reaction out of this fair value gap, a nice bullish volumetric candle, right? Which is what we had here, and we get that breakaway. And once we get that breakaway, ideally price should honestly respect this breakaway, this breakaway structure here. But again, it just wasn't enough. We actually came back up, filled in that 50-minute equilibrium, which I was talking about before, and price did its thing here. Sellers just eventually took over after not sweeping anything, and we just get that huge dump. So yeah, happy to go break even because it just saved me a loss for today. And again, I went break even just because we saw that displacement play out, and ideally when displacement plays out, if price invalidates that straight away, it just means that we're not ready to go lower yet. So happy to actually go break even at that level there after seeing that displacement. And yeah, that kind of wraps up this today's trade. break even day, so we'll take it. Yeah, again, um, one of those things where we follow out the plan, and it's things that I'm getting used to now, or should be getting used to, and yeah, we're on the road to profitability, trying to um, trying to be consistent and everything like that, so we can end goal is to be financially free and break out the system. So and we will do that. And yeah, so I thank you guys so much for watching. God bless you guys. um I hope you guys have a blessed night. I've got work actually at 6, so I gotta wake up around 4 a.m. So I will get some early sleep. My girl's birthday is tomorrow, so whoever's watching this, make sure you wish her happy birthday. She's turning 22. Super super proud of her, and yeah, I'm wishing her the best in everything she does. She deserves success just as much as I do, and that's why we're grinding super super hard right now to make sure that we achieve that. And yeah, again, God bless you guys. Hope you guys have an amazing night all day, wherever you guys are from. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.